Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for the first full week of May 1st through the 7th, 2023. So, welcome to this brand new month, and also I'd like to just welcome everyone um, who's returning to the weekly series, and also to anyone who's new to the community. I have noticed some new um, subscribers who have been very courageous to comment and share some insights. So, thank you for being a part of us and adding to the collective wisdom of this community, as each and every one of us, I call in our collective angelic wisdom. And that is where my guidance comes through from the I am presence of each and every one of you collectively and your angelic teams. So, just want to remind you as we're getting started to subscribe, select the all notification bell, like, dislike, and leave comments. Also, if you at some point feel the call to have an angel reading with me, please feel free to do so by going to my current website, theangelschool.com/services. There's a link, and the other links I'll mention will also be in the description area below this video. If you'd like to, if you're a first time client, you can select the first time promotional offer. There are other offers that are available as well. Also, if you'd just like to contribute or donate to the channel and show your support, this is always welcomed. This type of generosity is encouraging, and it helps support um, me and the work that we're doing here together. And so I have a PayPal me link at the bottom of this, um, in the description area of the video. Sorry, I'm just clearing the fog out of my glasses a little bit. Also, I did record the monthly general reading for May. So I just posted it at the time, would have been yesterday, although you'll be receiving this on Saturday. I'm recording today on Friday for a change because it's going to be really rainy and I didn't want it to be dark and gloomy. So I did it today. So make sure you check that out, and that'll probably be one of the first links that you see in the description area so that you can all watch that video. I'll get around to the general monthly angel scopes for the different zodiac signs probably in the coming week. I am almost at the close of finding new roommates, and so I'm trying to get all that worked out, as you can well imagine, because the first of the month is upon us already. And so as soon as I get through the brunt of that, I'll work on those videos and get them out to you. So just keep me in your prayers still, for the current situation, and that everything transitions smoothly and for the highest good of everyone, and that everyone receives the lessons and the blessings of those lessons. So let's begin. And I want to invite you all now to take a deep breath and just center your mind and your heart in the oneness and peace of your soul. And as you just continue to breathe, allow yourself to focus on your heart center and just feel the enormous expansion of your heart chakra and your entire energy field. It just feels like it's blooming, blooming with love. And they write on a global scale. And just know that in that moment that your angels are touching you and liberating you from anything that is been of great concern to you. They're offering you their help right now on an energetic level. Just almost imagine that your energy field is a touch screen, a digital touch screen, where it is sort of like this computer, and the angels can see all the programs that are running in your aura right now. And every time you take a moment to center yourself and breathe and release, you give them access by allowing your heart and your aura to expand as you center in love. And they can go to work immediately as they hear the call, they hear the alarms going off within your energy field, this giant computer, this very detailed and intricate computer. They hear the signals. And it's when you keep your heart open that they are allowed to make the alterations or intercept certain sort of vibrations that are not in alignment for you and your I am presence and the highest good. And for some reason, I'm just seeing a deer and a stag, rather, and a tiger, and a fox and a beaver. Interesting. And so these energies are coming forward as guardians for you to sort of help you in various ways. And I just get a sense from the stag, a sense of peace and gentleness and intuition. And his antlers are lighting up at the top like light bulbs. And so, really pay attention to the intuitive ideas that are coming through for you right now. And an angel is spreading its arms up high into the sky, and the wings follow and sort of create a crescent shape. And it feels as though your angels are working with the animal kingdom to working through them in some way on an energetic level to help bring to you the insights that you need to be aware of. So I don't know why they wrote the word play, as it felt like the next play. Okay. And whatever the next play is, the next strategy is, they want you, I see the word concession, they want you to just concede to the divine will. And this is hard because the divine will makes it seem as though it's not really going to do the battle for us in the way that we think of battles and winning them. They don't fight on this level. So when you're asking for help, you first have to step outside of the paradigm of fear. That's what they want you to surrender, the paradigm of fear, and embrace the paradigm of love. Because that's where the sober awareness begins. And when you have sober awareness or clarity, you have truth. And the truth will set you free. The spiritual laws of the universe is what will set you free automatically if you align yourself with what it is that you want or desire. If you align yourself with the plan of peace, then the plan of peace and love is the most powerful thing, because those who are at war will never see peace coming. They never account for this in their strategies. And that's why, even though they win battles, some, and there are some who lose, they continuously find themselves caught up as a soul in the struggle of the battle, because there's no satisfaction really for either side. No side wins, and every side loses. And they write the word oppression. This system is one of oppression of what? Your true power, your true guidance, love. Life truly does exist outside of the paradigm of fear. We've all been caught up in the paradigm of fear that we've never even really considered the path of love and peace. We talk about it, we dream about it, it's an idea, but not one we really believe in, and not one that we've actually put the work in to prove its power and strength and prowess. It always perpetuates wins for everyone. It gives everyone what they need and deserve. And yes, it's going to be a challenge to your ideas about winning battles. It's not that love or the path of love or peace doesn't work. It's that you and I don't know how to work it yet. And what we're going through right now, the universe is compassionately saying to us, is in order to test us, not to work against you, but to bring forth, to bring out the qualities of strength and confidence in the path of peace and love. And you're going to pass this test because it's already been designed and it's already been seen that you will. You were brought here because you could not fail the test. Every soul that's here, whatever you think of their human personality, the souls are all seventh dimension or higher. So none of us can fail the test. And the test is to help us to switch from the old paradigm to fear and to embrace and learn and ignite our soul's innate mastery for this specific time, not for a time before. So if you want to judge yourself because you've, in your own judgment, think that you've done miserably at being a seventh dimensional master, that was okay. That was all known and that was supposed to be. But now is the awakening, and we've been in this stage for quite a little while. But now the real work of setting us clearly on that path has begun within the last few months. The shift was set into place. No more give me a little, stretching the deadline. I'm not ready. Now you're like, oh, I see. Jeez. Wow. Christ. None of that gets you in trouble. You just now have no choice but to deal with this new paradigm. You got to deal. You've got to face it. You've got to face your demons, and you've got to face love. Because, see, the thing that all that stuff that was going on in the past was about escaping love. We were scared to death of it because our egos had us convinced we were going to be punished, or that we were going to be somehow, we weren't going to be able to I can't think of that phrase, but you weren't going to make the grade. All lies. And your anxiety and your fears and your confusion is because you just don't know which one to choose. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to try something new. Well, see, isn't that what the preparation's been about all along? Life has always been this about trying something new and being afraid to try something new, and sticking to what you know and sticking to your guns, and then you get beat up by that because it just doesn't make sense. And the universe, the spiritual laws are put in place in a non-discriminatory way to make sure you get it. This makes sense. This doesn't make sense. And when you're really hard-headed and with your head in the sand, then the universe just makes it plain. They are not doing anything. The program is. The laws are like a program, and they do not have the ability to discriminate, but they do have the ability to calibrate accuracy and precision of whatever it is your vibration is offering. And so what you and I don't like is just how messy we are within this accurate and precise set of laws. We don't like the consequences. We don't like seeing ourselves a mess in the mirror that it shows us. And the thing about it is, you're not a mess. You're acting, performing like a mess, forgetting that you are a master. It's all been layered up by the ego to keep you from believing in your inner experiences. And all you can seem to focus on is your outer experiences. They keep writing the word respect. We got to respect these laws. And you do it by non-judgment, compassion, cooperation. They gave us those words: cooperation, compassion, and curiosity. And now respect. Acceptance, we've heard in the last few weeks. Go back and pay attention to what we've been talking about, because it's just coming through me for the very first time. I've never had these conversations before. But make sure that you're following as they're helping us, showing us how to transition, showing us how to step in, how to live in unfamiliar territory that is all good and healthy for us. It's always good and healthy for us. We keep polluting it with our old stuff because we keep cycling back into the past. That's the problem with attachments and comfortability. Well, I'm familiar with this. I've been doing this all my life. I'm gonna keep on. No. Because there are patterns and kinks in that thing. And you are always free because the truth is what your soul is, where is the existence of your soul. The The truth exists in real present time. Real present time is eternal. Real present time is sober awareness, clarity. When our physical bodies are always in the present, but our emotions and our mental, emotional body, and I would go ahead and say I'm still not clear about this one, but the spiritual body as well is not always in the present. Because if you're not focused, you're not in a sober state of awareness. So when you make a choice, see, right now, what you see in your physical environment and what you're experiencing and how you're interpreting it is all the past. The present happens when you have a sober moment. The true present happens when you have a sober moment of clarity, where the truth sets you free from that old pattern and you make a decision, your next step based on that source. That is when you are in the present. Otherwise, your present is always your past. And when you're worried about the future, where do those worries come from? Your past. So you are stuck in your past. And any plans you make for the future have to come from a sober awareness, which is the real present time, the truth that will set you free. So you can't possibly expect anything to be better if you don't have this. What you normally have is a present mind that is under the influence of your ego, an intoxicated, driven past masquerading as the present. So that's why you get anxiety, that's why you get confusion, that's why you get brain fog, that's why you feel a lack of energy. Because see, it's until you tap into the present awareness, that sober awareness of source, the eternal moment, you are cut off from all the joy. And if you're cut off from all the joy and the love and the peace and the harmony, then you are experiencing all of its opposites: lack, depression, fatigue, etc., etc., etc. So you gotta, when you have what you perceive as troubles in your life, stop. Get sober. Do whatever it takes to get sober, then make your next move. And then you're going to have a better present moment because you're going to feel relieved because you have a solution. And I've gone through this in the last months. I mean, I've been going through the test. So everything I've been going through has not only been for my own personal evolution and ascension to achieve mastery, but also to go through it, to be able to share it with you, to bring it through, what we all need to do. And I hope nobody goes through what I've gone through in the last 2 months. But I know it's been worth it, because in this moment, and each one of these videos I do, I feel the benefits of this sober awareness. I've always felt them, but I feel it more. It's far more expanded than it's ever been, and far more rooted than it's ever been. And so this is why we all need to get up off of this looking for love in all the wrong places. And looking for love in all the wrong places is looking for love, the source of love, outside of you. Looking for the source of joy outside of you. Looking for the source of peace outside of you. That is to say, conditions must be in place, or people must validate or must love us or must whatever in order for us to establish proof that we are happy. No, the job does not make you happy. Your boss treating you with respect is not the source of your happiness. And when you do put all of your trust in the external world, which is an illusion, it's a hologram. I hate to tell you people, but it is. When you do that, then the hologram, the external reality, it has to come back at you with this truth, which often comes back as a hard consequence, like betrayal, like insecurity, like your spouse cheated on you or doing something you didn't expect because you gave your power away. And it's not about giving it away, it's about knowing that you are the power you're seeking. You are the love you're seeking. You are the joy you're seeking. It starts within you and you project it out there. And how do you keep doing that? Well, you have to keep doing the things that you love. You have to keep taking care of yourself. You have to nurture yourself. You have to put yourself in the places that are right for you. You have to put yourself in situations where you thrive. You have to make time for yourself to do the things you enjoy, like hobbies and, hanging out with your friends or whatever it is. You are the joy. You don't go to your friends and say, oh, boost me up. No, you go when you want to get together with your friends, you bring the joy. And then let them learn through you. See, if we model the behavior we want from others, but we don't do it just for that. You model it because you know it does everything for you. It puts you in the zone. By chance, they learn by looking at you living authentically and say, hey, I want to bring that too. So when I get together with my sisters and my brothers, I want to bring that to the table too. Now you have everybody recognizing, a group of people who recognize that they bring it from within. That's a whole different dynamic of relationships. I mean, I don't know, I haven't experienced it. Well, in some ways I have. But my point is, this is going to be for us what the new paradigm really is about. That when I go to my job, I don't go there looking for conditions to be a certain way. I don't choose a job because I need XYZ, because it's practical, because now I'm telling the outer world that you are my source. And when you go wrong, you destroy me. That kind of power, and no, you don't give. So you're going to have to write the word resignation again. And this might be a big word as a part of those words that we've had already, cooperation, etc. Resignation, because you're going to have to give up that old mentality that you're going to try to get people to do the right thing for you, to try to get them to think the way you do, because you're fighting, because that's enough. You're setting yourself up for a fight, because they are not responsible to you and you are not responsible to them. But if everybody's been responsible unto themselves, because responsibility means, and true support means, that I take it upon myself to show up for me in the way that lights up my soul and that, allows my sparks to touch everybody else without intention. They just go. We're trusting that the laws of the universe are sending them where they need to be naturally. It's not I'm thinking about it. I'm just being myself. And in being myself, things get shared naturally and authentically, right? And so if we resign ourselves to this kind of support, we can never be disappointed by anything outside of ourselves ever again. All right, let's take a look at the archangel that we're working with for this month. And this is Archangel Gersisa. And my experience with her is, it's always been like the network. This is just my experience. Now, according to Diana Cooper, she, as you can see, she has these spokes of light just coming through her, and you can see that the energy flows down and through this sort of Stonehenge and taps into the ley lines of this planet, and then the ley lines, the cosmic ley lines throughout the universe. So that's why I've experienced her as a network. Like when I was a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago, time flies, when I was looking for roommates and this card came up, and then I just had like, you know, every possible connection just, kind of come in. So, um, this right now, and her message says, create a solid spiritual foundation, be in service to the planet. So, there is, in this connection, I get a feeling that what we've been talking about, once you sort of develop a new relationship with the network within yourself, that you build a network from within and you become sort of like a generator of the network because of it, then you start to really lay the foundation for the new earth, for the new paradigm, for the new golden age. All those different things might be used to describe what people are talking about when they say the shift and etc. So, in working with her, it's a very powerful energy. I mean, you're just gonna feel like like you're just like a generator lit up, and you're connecting into the earth, into hollow earth, into the universe, and really, um, but your goal right now, in order to set yourself up as that generator, that network, a generator for that network, is to do this internal work. And it's really just shifting the way you have believed things to work. Stop looking for it to work from the outside and start working it from the inside out. All right, let's take a look at this new deck, and I didn't even have a chance to do it. I forgot. It's I don't think I know how to say her name. It's Julie. I want to say it like German. So let's see. I'm going to say it like English if I can. Weidelich, and it's called the Savvy Tarot. Okay, and that's what we'll be working with from now on until the angels ask me to switch. So this is a different deck. It's like a collage style artwork you'll see, and it has these quotes at the bottom of each card. So hopefully you can see them. All right, so let's take a look at the first card. It's the actual card that's on the box. It's Justice, and it says you reap what you sow. Okay, that is a really just. But we were just talking about this spiritual law of attraction. This is the law of attraction in particular, but it's this idea of we have to really now take responsibility. And it's interesting. I saw that word when I woke up this morning. So, see, they're not focusing on what to me this morning. I noticed they just talked about sowing. So instead of talking about what you reaped and focusing on, oh, I did this and this is what, and now this is what I reaped. Oh, I reaped my, yeah, I deserve this. No, they want you to focus on sowing because they want you to stop trying to fix problems. It's insane, actually. It's an insane idea. If something's a problem, that means it's dysfunctional. Why do you want it to be fixed? Why do you want to make a problem functional so it can wreak havoc everywhere or continue to do it and do it better? That's what we're saying. So they want you to focus on sowing. That is to say, tap into that sober mind where everything is harmonious and balanced and is for the highest good of all. And your life is not going to come back into balance. First, you have to accept the polarities. And that is to say, the way that you interpret them, the right word interpretation. Your interpretation of the polarities is what gets you stuck in either, where the goal is balance, to find that point of integration, not this perfect, but an approximate, where yours that's in balance with your soul, where you feel good, where you feel healthy. And you have to adjust this for every individual. That application they're writing in front of me would be compassion. Because you don't go around saying, this is my experience, and therefore I'm telling you this is going to be your experience, or that you deserve this because I know I've been through it and you are wrong. No. Your experience gives you no right at any time to tell somebody else that their experience or their behavior is wrong. What it does give you the ability to do is to understand how much work it took for you to find that balance point, and that it was unique to you, and that it's going to be unique for everyone else, whether they found that balance point or they are on a journey towards it. Because if you do anything, if you judge them, you are interfering. And the word they wrote, you are oppressing their progress. And people, whether you say it verbally or you send it telepathically, they write the word objection. They will have an objection to your response and reactions. Okay, wow. So now this is a progression, and trust me, when I pull the cards, I shuffle and then I cut each time and take the card off the top. So there's no way in the world that these two cards could have come back to back. But we're seeing a progression here of the Hanged Man. And it says, when surrender happens, suffering is released. We've been talking about this the entire time. This is what I've been really trying to say, and it's beautifully worded here. When surrender happens, suffering is released. And I'm trying to see the image here. Someone is sort of I don't know what you call these kind of people, but these acrobats. And she's just hanging, but she's trusting in her abilities, everything that she practiced. So it would suggest that in order to really to perform at your peak, you have to release the judgments that are in your head and focus on experiencing the flow. The judgments in your head are all the problems being brought up. And while you are, let's say, performing, do you try to focus on the problems, avoid them, which is another way of trying to say fix them? Or do you, focus on the flow of your performance as you're interacting with the experience itself? Again, don't try to fix problems, focus on or implement the solutions, or be open or aware of the solutions or ideas as they're flowing to you. And so that whole thing of surrender is going to be so key. Or the other word they've used, resignation. Don't pick up the rope. Don't don't engage arguments or fights, war. Choose peace. Study it. Learn the strategies that you can use to prevent you from not getting into a war, but prevent you from interfering or preventing you from receiving your blessings. Because once you get this path going, once you really are more and more practiced in this path, you have automatically stepped into all the rewards of heaven, so to speak. Wow, the Tower, we have all these major arcana cards. So what a weak way to start off the week. And then the message on the card here says, castles made of sand fall into the sea eventually. And what I'm feeling is that clear message from that. Listen, whatever you made in the old paradigm of illusions, all that stuff is going to collapse eventually. And I feel like it's a strong warning to the systems of the world, government, policies and corporations and policies, banks and all these kinds of things. And that is why you are all here. And that is why the activation is such a strong test right now on each of us, because each one of us is resisting, but we also have the answers. We're resisting because we see it as a problem, what is happening. We see the breakdown of the system as a problem that we want to fix. We want to repair it, like we want to do damage control, as if we're on a sinking ship. Honey, you are on a sinking ship. That ship is going to sink. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And if we don't get on that new path, we'll all go down with that path in a very harsh way. And I'm not saying you're going to lose your soul, because that's not possible. But why lose why do you have to be stripped of your illusions in such a drastic and dramatic way, when you can be stripped of it by your own, why can't I think of the word? I'm going to show you all hearing it. By your own, this is not the word, but enlightenment, or by your own free will, maybe a better way to say it, right? Meaning because you're cooperating, compassion, and curiosity. Be more curious about this path. Don't let your fears make you, want to be so attached that you get stuck and get caught up in the storm. I don't know, for the first time, I feel like this is a very strong message. Make sure that you're getting your house in order. And we're not talking about that external stuff. We're talking about the internal stuff. Because again and again, you are the source of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. And let's just say we're all watching a building that we physically see crumble, representing, world banks or education systems or governments, whatever. And in our minds, it could, because of fear, it could like come falling all down on the top of us and kill us. But if you are aligned with your truth, that the truth that will set you free, to the degree of your faith, you could walk away completely unscathed and at peace because you understand why it all needed to transpire. Because you know what's coming. Or you could be somewhere in between, or towards one polarity or the other, or fully integrated in the fallout of what does come. So get yourself prepared. There is no longer time for you to waste wrestling with am I or I am. All right, so I've taken another card from the bottom of the deck, and this is the Nine of Wands, and it says, perseverance is power. So this is a message that I received this week, and it's about standing in your power, standing your ground. The card for me this month was Archangel Michael, and it said that same thing. It said, stand in your power. And it was something that struck me. Let me see if I can find it in the book, the words. Be true to yourself. That was the second phrase. It was stand in your power. Be true to yourself. When I read that, because for me, with the situation I was going through, it was, do I use the spiritual laws or do I use the law? Do I act out of compassion or do I intimidate? Intimidate. What is that? It felt like I was trying to combine two words. But anyway, never mind. And so my being myself is to love. People might call me foolish, naive, or gullible, or someone that people can take advantage of easily. But I believe in my way of dealing with things. There are some things, yes, that were triggers there. There are some things that I do need to address, and there are so many things that I did, and there's still things I'm discovering, and there's still some things I may need to reconcile in terms of what it means, or that integration point really between standing, being true to yourself, or power, how I perceive it, and dominance, or the power of love, or the power of dominance. But the thing is that struck me the most is that we have to be true to ourselves. And I feel like this says perseverance is power. And one of the messages I'm getting very clearly is that it might not look like you're ever going to win right to the bitter end, this path, using this path of peace and sticking to it, standing there. Like he's just standing there in the thick of everything. And it looks like he could just be, he's setting himself up to drown. But no. In what does this looks like, a dam or something? But the point is, there's another side over there that he could go over there and be in the clear, but he's staying here because he has faith in his path, and he's not given into the illusion, but he is surrendering that it is an illusion, and that he has to trust that if he stands in his power about his beliefs, his spiritual and the spiritual laws, that this will pass and he will reap the rewards. But of course, the card that comes after is a 10 and is about taking on too much, right? And risking your health. So there is that balance point. And that is the test that we're all being um, pushed to find and to seek. But it does not mean that when you find that balance point that you've given up on the path of peace. It's not, it can never be, as it says, you cannot serve two masters. You can't try to combine fear with love. No, it is love. And then love is a power that has range that we are not always willing to accept. We think of these words and we just see this docile, submit, kind of submissive. No, or passive. It is not. When you truly have practiced this path of peace or love, then you grow. It's like you develop the muscles or strength of these things, these attributes, and you create an expanded range so love can express itself, in very strong ways, as well as being kind and tender. Same with peace. You're not giving up. If you're an activist, you're not giving up because you've chosen the way of peace. You've not given up activism. You've just chosen to do it smarter, and smartly, not to waste energy in a situation where nobody's listening anyway. So you come up with the strategy of peace that is so compelling that it disarms everybody, because they would never see these things coming, the strategies you come with, because they've been focused on strategies of war, whether they are against it or for it. That's why when people battle on something, the anti-pro, they both use the same tactics, just in different ways. And that's why it's hard to beat or to convince another one to drop their guard and follow them. But when you go to a whole nother topic that is, or the polarity, or the opposite of that which is everybody honestly wants, and then you build strategies on that, nobody sees you coming. Anything you're going to talk about, they don't see it until you lay it on them. And so you can still be an activist of peace, but you lay it on them with things that they've never would have thought of, things that disarm them because they're not prepared. They don't have a concept to rattle. They don't have a concept of what you're talking about. Therefore, they can't even fight with you or argue any points with you. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful month of May. God bless you.